First Dance of the Butterflies should be absorbed by the doppelgangers, but NAVI have the Endsong Inferno to shut that down too.
Off the Snowflake in a BRB, you're going to be able to get a lot more aggressive as Trust Me's looking to make some space. Look at Jerky. He's creeping about before he tries to get the jump on the strategist up on the bridge. Invisible, the follow-up together with the team up that Emma Frost provides here. He's looking for the opportunity to get the Dance of Butterflies, but they need to wait for the strategist ultimate to come out. But with Cooper going down, no God of Mischief, it's up to Zelos and the Eternal Bond. As a meteor comes up, it must find itself going down onto NAVI. Now as they try to survive, they're holding onto these ultimates for quite some time.
Cosmic Yawn Amplifier, Horn of Proteus from Vision, but Endsong Inferno prevents any momentum picked up by that Namer ultimate, and NAVI are still in control of this point. Jerky with the projection manages to make it back to his Emma. Rajara shields him off with the Aegis, and FlyQuest are forced to swap. Tidal Dirge team up taken away. Energy has to go onto the Winter Soldier and look for the neutral shutdown on the dive instead.
It's the fact that Jerky, by the way, is already at 80% in ult charge after we just saw the Dance of Butterflies. Furthering your point, Moxie, about what you were mentioning about the Brute 2, as Cooper holding on to that God of Mischief after he had gone out early in that previous fight. You have to imagine now, as Cooper's looking on the back end.
It's too early! It's preemptive, which means that NAVI are just going to wait it out. Cooper has to come on through with the Fate of Both Worlds in response to Rajara's ultimate, but that means that they're not going to have the Loki ultimate to shut the Dance of the Butterflies down. It has to be an aggressive play when they've still got the Fate of Both Worlds up, but they haven't found the elimination. Jerky is on the field. The Loki doppelgangers too are able to absorb the damages, but that means that they have nothing for when the Feast of the Abyss comes through, and NAVI in overtime are clearing FlyQuest positions.
And together with the anti-heal, even with the Eternal Bomb used up, nice Terror Cape to find level 1 Crook, but with Vision going down, they are outnumbered. Currently, Trust Me, Fate, here's popping off, overtime, taken away, forces out the recontention with the portal.
Regeneration Domain does mean that FlyQuest will be able to stabilize temporarily through that portal, but they don't have the numbers, they don't have an ultimate to follow up the bodies, and NAVI walk away with the Grove in firm, dominant style. Jerky on the Psylocke, we highlighted this player. We said that he was away from the Vanguard, allowing FlyQuest to start pushing their way forward, angling for that frontline brawl with both the Bucky and the Phoenix getting to play with the main core and the off angle. We still have to worry though about Jerky. With the Dance of the Butterflies, Silent Seduction opens the way. Jerky gets the elimination of the Cooper. No doppelgangers, no regeneration domain, no player from FlyQuest will be able to survive the onslaught.
Force it back away, but now here on the Angela still is trying to get this disruption while Zelos can start the fight with the Eternal Bond.
FlyQuest, like you said, starting off that fight likely with the Eternal Bond off of the portal, getting to close the position onto the point. Endsong Inferno is the first ultimate to try to deal with NAVI. Out comes that Eternal Bond, allowing FlyQuest to move on forward, but we've got Fate of Both Worlds from NAVI's end, damage boosting the Endsong Inferno, and Cooper through the ultimate falls. FlyQuest now relying on Sparksheep in overtime. The Heaven's Retribution not going to be able to pick up the stall that it looks for. Energy's onto the Doctor Strange, but Vicky, I don't think there's enough time.
The speed run after map 1 alone, a complete different outcome after we've seen these teams face off against each other. And now NAVI, they know what they need to do, Moxie. And it's exactly what you were talking about, right? Because we see a lot of these counter picks as Jerky, already taking some damage, but you see Energy taking control over the high ground as, once again, FlyQuest being on this defense, trying to get the disruption, but also the damage done to boost into that Galactic Legend.
So one of the benefits of the Ultron against the Psylocke, or against the dive rather, is that he is undiveable. And starting off on the defense, Vision does at least have so much distance between himself and the Psylocke. He's currently not being pressured by the one-tap potential, which does mean that FlyQuest are bolding Raging Ultron and allowing the triple strategist line to be able to stabilize with there's a staple on this Magneto. Moving on forward, has to deal though with the rushdown potential of Rajaro. The Carbon Crush will be shielded off, and FlyQuest are able to stabilize. Jerky still not able to find a way through, but look at what he's doing. He's not diving, he's building, he's been farming the Dance of the Butterfly. Soul Resurgence comes on through from FlyQuest, but that means that NAVI get to come on through with an uncontested invisible boundary.
Oof. Fate holding back a little bit with this invisible boundary, kind of putting it behind the payload. FlyQuest still holding forward, and now with the Galactic Legend, it forces out level 1 Crook to have the Fate of Bullfrost energy flying all around them. Get the fly swatter as Naga tries to retaliate. Meteor it comes crashing down with the LeBron at the... It was big too because it was boosting into the dance of butterflies, but you cannot ignore who is harassing your backline. Again, look at Rajar, that Psionic Seduction almost online, but I'm also looking at these strategist ultimates too. They used up the Rage of Ultron earlier as a Psionic Seduction comes out next. Jerky, Dance of the Butterflies as he gets put to sleep thanks to Cooper being on that Mantis, the insurance policy that they needed, but they have to recontest as Spark Chief is alone up here in the front.
They look to do so with Cosmic Yawn Amplifier, but level 1 Crook pops Fate of both worlds, and only one of his healing strategists has a health bar attached to their ultimate. FlyQuest now relying on the Galactic Legend to clear the board, but Vez has already fallen. Invisible Boundary slows everybody down into the Dance of Butterflies, stacked with the Galactic Legend, because this is about to be overtime. If not...
Few seconds of invisibility before backing away, and that goes hand in hand with seeing double with the Emma Frost team up as energy. He's found Trustby, but Jerky's going to continuously be a problem to the backline of FlyQuest, especially forcing out Zelos and that BRB.
The problem for them is that Jerky doesn't have LOS until now to receive the Idol Aura. Flanks on to the left side, gets it from level 1 Crook. Level 1 Crook with the Fate of both worlds too, trying to keep the teams the same through Energy's Galactic Legend, but he still fights the pick through. But look at what Jerky's doing. They saw the FlyQuest was split, and they punish the spread to Fate. No invisible boundary, but no Meteor Amp to absorb the Galactic Legend damage.
And now with Naga flying around here with that Galactic Legend, you have to look at Spark Chief trying to look for the interruption too. Jerky finds Zelos next, who has not been able to set up with these BRBs as well, as Jerky gets shut down. Vision knows what he has to do. It's a trade up on both sides as Navi, they're down in numbers. FlyQuest are looking to wake up.
Vision, the perfect timing. If he'd used the Rage of Ultron through the outside of this building, should be able to find the shutdown. But for Navi, it's all about the Kraken impact. No strategist ultimate ready to be able to stave it off. Cooper with the Soul Resurgence just isn't going to do the healing required.
And with Vez getting taken down, Crook sets Navi up to control this space. They're looking at Energy. He's got the Galactic Legend, but with the Fate of both worlds used up, Energy's waiting for the very tail end of that ultimate.
Galactic Legend, but Invisible Boundary comes on through from Fate. The Winter Soldier's outside it though, and that was the one pick that FlyQuest needed. Vision has the Rage of Ultron, uses it after the Feast of the Abyss damage comes on through, trying to heal his back line. The peel is there, but it's insufficient. The anti-heal still applied, and supplying sustainability for FlyQuest. Is it going to be long enough? Vision 5% away from having Rage of Ultron online. Will be able to find the damage and the healing. Invisible Boundary pulls for Navi. They're losing their players though, and that should be FlyQuest turning the tide. They just have to deal with this Eye of Agamotto.
That invisible boundary was just a little too short. Eye of Agamotto, it does find Zelos, but a nice safety from Vez to get the bubble, protecting them and preventing Navi from getting to the finish line.
FlyQuest finding the turnaround, preventing the full push from coming on through. The Mantis Ultron, when it works, it works. When you're not in control of the space.
And look at Fate. They have their ultimates and they can enable Jerky, who goes in with a Dance of the Butterfly.
Dance of the Butterflies, Soul Resurgence from Cooper. The body stack is good, and they are going to lose a player on the trade. Fate goes down, no invisible boundary, which means no way of shutting down the Rage of Ultron. A sacrifice is required. There's the Sonic Seduction trying to fall FlyQuest back. There's the Force Physics grabbing them forcefully back. And Vez falls. Level 1 Crook finds the elimination. Feast of the Abyss is surely going to be coming on through the moment Fate on both worlds ends.
Vez cannot catch a break, and with Cooper going down next,
everyone from Navi is going to hold off on investing their ultimates until it's done. At least FlyQuest do have the ultimates now to be able to use. Speaking of which, Dance of the Butterflies comes on through, but it's healed. Level 1 Crook with the sustainability Fate of both worlds. Vez might be able to shut it down with the Meteor Amp connection. Finds the pick onto the Lunar Snow, and that now impacts the rest of the team's sustainability.
That was the win con. That's what he needed to do, and it was great communication from FlyQuest. You saw the Invisible Woman shield coming up, and it was destroyed just like that. And he was able to get the Meteor M, and they're able to get this next check.
Dance of the Butterflies forces fate of both worlds. Look at the Winter Soldier, because that Kraken impact needs to be dealt with now. Aggressive plays comes on out from level 1 Crook, letting the team move forward onto the objective. The slam down of the Venom and the Kraken impact commitment, but Vez slows it all down. Meteor M absorbs the Bucky shots. Down the Winter Soldier, down the Kraken impact threat to hold FlyQuest off. Rage of Ultron gets bubbled, forces out the invisible boundary. FlyQuest disengage it because it's off of the objective, and they still have room to breathe. Dance of the Butterflies from Energy manages to bypass the CC coming up from Rajaro, and FlyQuest should even through the fate of both wolves.
They forced it out. They forced it out together at the very least here. They can't get the fall of the protection that we're seeing onto the backline with Vision getting called out by Rajaro. They force them back, and with the Diamond Floor and the Choke Slam, it also forces the bubble out.
Fez manages to find a big pick on to Trust Me. FlyQuest off at the back of that. Think that this is winnable. They full send it. What a freeze from level 1 Crook. Na'Vi disengaging it. They've still got the distance to back on off. The Captain America putting the pressure on the back line so that FlyQuest can keep on moving on that objective. But we spoke once to cycle after the Ultron's ultimate is done, and FlyQuest are missing sustainability. They're missing numbers. Na'Vi are shutting them down. It's going to be a strange portal that allows us to come back on through. Fate of both wolves manages to make it onto the card, and FlyQuest are thrown a lifeline.
This is what they saved the portal for, the 3-minute cooldown. But look at Jerky. He's got the Dance of the Butterflies ready to go as he can try to find FlyQuest. He uses it right on top of the portal. Both teams, both Dance of the Butterflies, they are having a waltz, but it is Jerky who dances on top as Na'Vi put themselves at match point.
A historic Midtown, one that will go down for the ages as Na'Vi shut out FlyQuest on third defense. Both the Phoenix and the Namor. Rajaro walks away with the first elimination. BRB will be able to bring it back, and Energy is still in his position. But a freeze from level 1 Crook sets up the pick, and FlyQuest to not allow them to stabilize and get yet more distance covered.
Be a strat difference here as Trust Me with the Freedom Charge. He rallies the Avengers to hold up, and look at the way that Na'Vi rotate through these ultimates, because you also have Cooper Spark Chief who is looking to get everybody grouped together. As Rajaro, he's
that if it does not work out for them. Through the clouds, Energy moves. Galactic Legend directly on top of FlyQuest's players. No space to disengage it, and Na'Vi find the pick. First off to Zealous. No more Rocket BRB, which means that all of the numbers are just has pick potential, but Na'Vi have so much time plus the Freedom Charge to be able to sustain through it. FlyQuest have to make a move now. What's going to be the go sign? There's the Dance of the Butterflies. Freedom Charge not enough to keep level 1 Crook up, but at the end of the Psylocke ultimate, Rajaro is able to catch him with the Mac Cannon, and he has fallen. FlyQuest have to rely on Fate of both worlds instead.
Rajaro's been popping off, and even with Spark Chief being able to find Jerky, it is the BRB again. The Rocket having so much potential here on this map, and together with the Sia, Rajaro, he does it again, while Jerky, he gets 2 more, and it's a mop here onto FlyQuest as Na'Vi are clearing another team fight.
To try to interact with the both of it, Cosmic Yarn Amplifier comes on through. Everyone from Na'Vi getting the damage boost potential. FlyQuest have to send players onto the objective, otherwise the round finishes. They have no choice but to go directly into the damage, past the Vanguards, past the Star-Lord. Na'Vi are not allowing FlyQuest any opportunity to turn it, and they will complete the full push with what a time bank on the clock.
Everything on the table to make their way into the grand finals, and what separates Na'Vi from making it there.
Mizzy, he's not there to try and keep Jerky in check, but you know who is? Vez, the hero that FlyQuest needed when the hour was at its darkest. Trust me, making sure that Na'Vi get to play the way they want to, aggressively running towards this Halo.
It's the mirror to get the counter pick here, while Trust Me rallies everybody together with the Freedom Charge. Fate with the Sia, a freeze this time onto Rajaro as Spark Chief tries to find Jerky, and with no BRB, they don't bring him back. Level 1 Crook can keep this fight going. He's got the Fate of both worlds as we have a dance-off between both sides with Cooper.
Oh, the Meteor doesn't find the shutdown, and that means that it's not there to stop the Galactic Legend the way that Rajaro is to absorb energies. Energy is still able to find level 1 Crook, though. He's brought back by the Rocket BRB, the Soul Drainer.
Nice little cheeky angle for a reset in case the Star-Lord needs to go back together with a team up of the Rocket. Look at Zealous with that Sia, but same thing for Fates, as now you see Energy taking a different angle here. Very similar, but you have to pinpoint where Jerky is, who also has a reset.
God, that's a
Huge. That was so worth there. Can't get the reset and doesn't get the space with that angle specifically, while Jerky gets taken down at the hands of Spark Chief. They pinpointed who the problem is.
massive play as well. That Goddess of Death does not give you a health reset the way Ensong Inferno does, so FlyQuest are able to time the Howler ultimate out and still find the elimination. Na'Vi down one of their duelists, relying on the Galactic Legend. Freedom Charge from Spark Chief trying to heal FlyQuest through it, as Na'Vi want to hold on long enough for Jerky to come back with the Daredevil.
The Daredevil's out, and now with FlyQuest taking disguise, Energy, Galactic Legend, Jerky, he's found Cooper, no sustainability. There's only so much only Energy can do, but at least they have time. 2 minutes, less than 50 seconds on the clock. The backline may need some help here as Na'Vi move up. Jerky trying to hold them back together with Naga up in the skies. It's the Sia follow-up here as they try to control the turtle together, and it's also going to be the damage boost forcing FlyQuest back, but Jerky, he takes him to court with the lawyer. Matt Murdoch coming in, following up with Trust, but it's Energy finding Crook, but he's got the BRB. This is why the Rocket is so important.
The wombo combo though, Spark moved over to the group, so close to strangling Prison. Na'Vi burn fate of both wolves now. They need to finish off the fight. They need to stop the strangling Prison, connecting into the Kraken impact. FlyQuest have the wombo combos. The objective is so close to the checkpoint. They should have second and a refresh on the time to head into third.
They're getting it here. Vision finding a tails all this time, looking at Spark Chief here on the group. Strangling Prison still. Freedom Charge. They have to find Wajaro. He pulls up the walls, even with that freeze behind him from level 1 Crook, as the freeze gets retaliated now, this time onto Trust Me to delay that Freedom Charge. Goddess of Death, the reset from Vision, and he finds a 3K with a BRB to bring Crook back, but you won't have your teammates to help them out. Here's a Sia, look behind you. Wajaro gets taken out. This is the opportunity. They have the number advantage as the reset comes in the 1v1.
Vision wins the 1v1, repositioning around the bubble with the shift, manages to shut the Naval down, and Energy is popping off. Babies up by the fate of both wolves, the crowd goes wild. FlyQuest should go into the overtime half.
The crowd gives them the energy. With Vision finding Wajaro, it's just a matter of time as the star comes out, and they do it. FlyQuest, they take it to the finish line. We keep this going.
Oh my goodness. FlyQuest, they asked on the stage, cheer for us. And the crowd are giving them the, which would allow that Star-Lord so much more aggressive plays to put the pressure on the back line. They find the BRB. This Captain America has allowed them to move on forward. And FlyQuest stop picking up the point percentage.
Huge cooldown, and Trust Me won't be coming back. No BRB, and Spark Chief
ahead of his team, buying so much space.
Mark Naga, that is the goal. Find where he is as Fate with the Sia. A huge freeze onto Trust Me as Jerky. He's found Vision. Spark Chief with the Freedom Charge. They need help. They need to sustain the BRB. It brings Cooper back, and this is important with the fate of both worlds.
Meteor M absorbs the Galactic Legend. Best doesn't find the pick though, and Na'Vi, they force out Cooper's fate of both worlds. Level 1 Crook gets to use his leader. The damage boost is there for Trust Me on the Feast of the Abyss. FlyQuest trying to do everything that they can to stop the Venom's ultimate coming on through. Vision dodges it with the Goddess of Death, but the damage will be absorbed by the Meteor M, and Na'Vi's Goddess of Death is still in play.
This is looking to get stopped as with nobody left. Overtime taken away. They're desperate, and with none of their strategists able to hold it down, they get held back. But they got some.
On that Hela moves over to the Phoenix, will still draw the attention of Fire on that dive on the isolated targets, but he's got the ability with the shift to reposition, get the item, get the bubble. Cosmic Gun Amplifier comes on through from Fate. Vision looking for those angles, looking for those peaks. Manages to find a huge one. Fate falls, level 1, Crook falls. FlyQuest with the board.
They're clearing the points. They're stopping them. FlyQuest are looking to take this to another one. As Na'Vi, they're looking to keep the stall going. With Fate going down first, that means no BRB.
The respawns though, Na'Vi's respawns are so close to where the fight is going through. Cosmic Yawn Amplifier is destroyed. Trust Me gets brought back by the BRB. Jerky coming back with the Wolverine for the pass. The proc for Kraken impact hands on off. And FlyQuest will continue in the series.
We go next, Spark Chief. The emotions are bursting. The crowd goes crazy. We keep this going.
Give them your energy. Give them your cheers, your support. They appreciate it so much. Into burning, the Namus defensive by the pressure coming on through from Trust Me, who once is burned out will find the elimination. Energy without his mobility should be vulnerable too, but he does find a pick onto the Phoenix.
Big pick here after he was so incredibly low. He gets resustained almost immediately after you see the shish kebab. He gets sent down, but guess what? He actually was able to move right back forward.
No splash. Rajaro with the diamond form utilizes the kick to get himself back onto the point. And NAVI still have both of their vanguards up, but FlyQuest still have energy. And when he's hitting shots like that, that hella is a problem.
Fight for a reset. Look for that Silent Seduction from Rajaro, as well as Naga close to that end song Inferno. Energy backing away here together with Cooper, though. You talk about the Mantis ult brings everybody together, and it's going to be Rajaro looking at them as they try to reposition behind the pillar.
But it's not CC immune. Energy, however, will be able to find the opening pick onto the rocket, which means no BRB. End song Inferno tries to slow down the momentum from Energy's pickoff, as FlyQuest have to worry about the Phoenix stunning them.
Found to himself as he's going to try to get away. Shimmy Shade to try to find his dance and get protected. Yes, they stun him, but it also allows him to get the follow-up as FlyQuest. Cooper getting stunned here. Energy gets taken out. No Kraken impact, and it is Navi taking over this fight as the portal recontest comes in. Overtime is forced at the hands of Vez.
Serpentine sticking move, and well, FlyQuest aren't going to be able to move out of the way of that one. Assassin's Charge might have assassinated FlyQuest's chances at walking away with Super Soldier Factory.
No, the body block. The Angela is a problem, but at least we're out of Factory, and now we're moving on to Frozen Airfield.
It's not Monument. That's the...
Yeah. Chef, Fate comes back around as a Dance of the Butterfly, another one from Jerky. Vision brings him back, born again. And it matters if he gets that reset. If you get that Karmic Revival, you have to pinpoint where Vision is. As he's trying to get the folk together, Naga's about to get it. The Kraken impact, the invisible boundary though, to combat that of Spark Chief. He brings them together as the Kraken impact gets taken in, and Naga, he gets the reset. Again and again we go. And with Fate and the Eternal Bond, Navi, they move up to evict FlyQuest off this point.
Fate of both worlds denies the reset opportunity, but Jerky catches the disengagement.
Taken away as Navi are looking to finish it here. The back away though, as they call out Vision and the Karmic Revival coming in.
Karmic Revival is going to end in a matter of moments, and that's when Navi decide to make that move. Kraken impact coming on through. No strangling present, but the crew isolates them. Now it's up to Energy. He's got his own Kraken impact, but the healing from the invisible boundary. He dodges the cast of the Groot ultimate. The CC frames on the ultimate carry him above it, but Navi are carrying themselves through the fight. FlyQuest weren't able to find the eliminations.
And with Cooper coming back on the Doctor Strange, is it enough time with overtime? Spark Chief, he's trying to keep the dream alive. The stall as the portal needs to come out, but is it too little, too late? It is by a second. Navi, they take the loser's final match and they move on to the grand finals.
Grand finals, and EMEA versus